did it.
Yeah, I actually had to go through my phone for some reason. It wouldn't let me go through my computer, which is weird.
Listen, I'm really grateful that you did get through your phone because I'm technically challenged on the best of days. Let me just pop out my chat
Of course.
and give you we're about to start here. Let everybody read their or see the ad as it comes up. I'm really not very technically proficient at all. My
No,
God,
that's fine.
look at you. You're just a child. No, no, I don't mean it like that. I mean,
I know
you're
what you're
so
saying.
young. What are
Yeah.
you like 21 or something?
24.
I have both of my sons are older than you. My goodness. Okay. Well, let's start. I'm going to ask everybody if they can see. Can everybody see what's going on here? Okay. Can All right. I'm waiting because I had a trial run with my cousin today, and she said that it's not a big deal. Okay, give me a second. I'm a little tongue tied.
That's okay.
Yes, they can see us. Thank you,
One,
Sherry. Thank you. Hi, Natalie. Hi, everybody. Let me welcome Mike.
how are you guys doing?
Mike from ForJars. Now, I'm stunned at how young you are. Like, do you
Oh,
have are you married? Do you have children?
I'm married. I don't have any children yet.
Yeah, well, I love that word yet. I love
Yet.
that word yet. I'm a
Yes.
recently new grandmother. Now, listen, Mike, when did this start? When did ForJars journey start? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So our journey goes to a event that everybody I'm sure is aware of, which is the pandemic. So it takes us back there. It's what been like 4 years almost
Yeah,
already.
almost 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So time is flying, but um, everything really starts there. So if we go a little bit back before that, we come from a family of canners. Canning is a tradition. A lot of our family is from Ukraine. Our parents came
Right.
over, and so canning it's a lifestyle there. You
Absolutely.
go down to your local supermarket and grab whatever you need. It's just you can and what you can for the season. You got a winter log and everything. And
Yeah.
so we've kind of brought that tradition when we came here, and we wanted to continue it. And then we did, but when the pandemic came, you couldn't find anything, and so
Exactly.
which was a really tough. And so we decided that instead of driving hours to different stores, we had to do something, and we kind
Right.
of sparked. That's what sparked the 4 jars, and we came out with our own lid. And then it didn't really stop there. We knew that we have to give back to our canning community because we weren't the only ones.
Right.
And from there, we started to reach out to a lot of homesteaders, canners like you, and we kind of that sparked
I
everything.
was so stoked because I am not one of those people who does a lot of affiliate. Yes, I will preview products and stuff, but a quality lid like 4 jars, I was like, yes, it's
Yeah,
about time, you know. And now I'm gonna ask you what everybody has been asking, because I've had people say, well, the lids are made in China, and I like, you know what? So is 90% of Walmart. So is everything you buy in the dollar store. But you do have plans for a manufacturing in the USA, right?
100%. So not too long ago, earlier this year or late last year, we acquired a new warehouse facility, which is 16,000 square feet, which we'll have to
Right.
do one time. I'm home now, so I'm not in the office.
That's
Um,
okay. That's all right.
but we'll definitely do a tour there so you guys can definitely check it out. But we've got 16,000 square feet of a state of the art facility that we're ready to have manufacturing there. So it's a matter of
Yes.
getting machinery and having everything. It's not as easy as let me go buy a press and get it done.
Yeah.
A lot of engineering, design, R
I
and D.
used to work in a machine shop. I know the absolute overwhelming front end loading amount of work and setup and finances that goes into something that
Yeah,
big.
machines
So,
are.
but oh yeah, well, but everybody's really stoked because until now in Canada and in the US, all we've had is Ball and Kerr and Bernardin, and they're good. But when they started like they started failing on us.
Mhm.
And then they went, oh, well, they're only good for a year. And it's like, okay. Oh, and then the big thing came out, oh, they're now good for 18 months. I'm sorry, but I like lids that are going to hold as long as the seal holds, the food's going to be good. And because some of my stuff we can is on the shelf for like 2-3 years. So we're really excited. Oh, good job, honey. Fire's still going. My husband's bringing in firewood. To have a new American company, nothing hurts sales like a bit of competition for starters. But it will be really nice to get a really nice quality lid manufactured in good old North America. You
Yes.
know, that's a big deal for most of us,
Yeah,
right?
we're
Especially
trying.
with the things going on weird in China right now. Nobody really wants to have anything to do with them if they can help it.
Yeah, and so, having manufacturing here, we've have them all. We don't have to worry about what it happens, with logistics and such. Thankfully, it's been wonderful, and we haven't had any delays with logistics. But who knows what could come up, especially with now and everything going on. And so
Absolutely.
we'll hear at our tips, and then I mean, it's pretty much where all our efforts are going right now is to have the manufacturing here. So I wish it was as easy as it sounds, and I know we've been saying we're bringing manufacturing here. It's a process.
It's a process, you've got to find the space, you've got to have permits, you have to have all the machinery and the equipment, you got to have the staff. Everybody has to know what's going on before you can say roll the machinery. It's not just something you can open the door and start. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work setting up that kind of thing. And so you're to be commended for that, for bringing it home to North America.
Yeah,
Bravo! Now, everybody wants to know, you've gone from lids to lids and rings. Are we looking? I know it's probably not going to be until you've got the manufacturing for the lids in America. But are you planning on doing jars anytime soon?
definitely. So we actually, for those that are in the U.S., because we attend a lot of U.S. homestead shows and such. If you've stopped by our booth, we've actually had some of our jars displayed there, and
You're
so
already making them.
yes, I wish I brought it all with me here. So we'll have to do a live also when
Absolutely.
the office is just last minute stuff came up and there's other stuff going on in the office, but we're gonna do a walkthrough and I'll show you the jars. So we've got jars as well, not
Mhm.
fully out released yet because we're still testing with them. We want to make sure that
Mhm.
we have a good product, just as
They're
good.
going to go through the whole canning process. Is there? Yeah, I mean, what's the good of having an inferior quality jar for a top quality lid? You want to make sure that they go hand in hand, right?
Exactly, and it's hard to put years worth of testing on a jar in a couple of weeks. So
That's
it's why.
right.
But I think we're hoping to have the jars this year as well. So we're hoping that will come out soon. And some of the more standard sizes, your regular and wide mouth with the pints, the quarts, and such. And then we'll move on to the
And people want to know if you're going to be doing half pints.
yes, half pints, pints and a half. It'll all those not as you could say common sizes or
Yeah.
standard sizes. We'll be doing a little bit later, but for now we're focusing more on some of the standard sizes.
Yeah, which is normally pints and quarts, real usually.
Yeah, there's
Eh,
about, like, and we'll do the jelly jars as well. More.
Awesome. Awesome. That's wonderful. So, I have one more thing I know you're really, really busy, and I
Oh, yeah.
know you're getting manufacturing set up and you're planning on jars and stuff, but I've got 3 words for you. It's May. Christmas tea towels.
Yes,
Christmas tea towels.
I
And
remember.
I got to tell you, you guys, you every once in a while a parcel will arrive and it's a box of tea or a box of chocolates and a tea towel or something. You guys are just amazing. I
Thank you.
mean, I can't believe I expected somebody at least my age or close to my age to be starting such an endeavor so hugely.
Well,
Congratulations, by the way.
thank,
It's if the rest of the homesteading community has anything to say about it like I do, you're going to take off even more than you already have
thank you.
because we're all behind you, right? We love, the fact that there's new blood in the water. No, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
horrible extra. That's not a good analogy.
I get what
But
you're
I mean that there's new tech, there's new people coming out in the market, and that all, and it's especially with your commitment to quality. That's really, really a big deal for a lot of us, because we put a lot of hard work into our gardening and our canning and stuff like that. We want to make sure, like I just actually did a video, because every once in a while I just go and I check, just reach in, because I take all the rings off my jars, right? I go in and I reach in and I feel around, and there was a jar I had missed that had popped, and it was like 3 inches of black on top, and I went, oh, and I checked the date. I thought it was 2018. No, it was 2021. It was only 18 months.
wow,
Right on the 18-month mark, the Bernardin lid let go.
wow.
So it's like, right? I'm just like, every time I pull out a lid, or a jar or something, I'll go, damn, I still got Bernardins in the pantry. Like, I sold I had like probably 2 dozen boxes of 12 lids.
Oh wow.
And I sold from Bernardin, and I sold them all at a yard sale for 50 cents a piece. I won't use them. Maybe for dry goods and stuff, but no, I'm a ForJars baby all the way.
We're glad to hear it. We're glad to hear it. We appreciate the support. I mean, it's we're a family business, so there's more than just one person involved, and so we're
Absolutely. I mean, the fact it's not just your family. I mean, especially when you're going to be manufacturing in the US, you're going to be supporting local industry. You're going to be putting out local jobs and all that for people that have, their rights are protected and they're not forced
yeah.
to work 16-hour days at 25 cents an hour kind of thing. So is ForJars going to make leg fatigue mats? Now, listen, I have a okay, just a minute. For long-standing periods of time in the kitchen, did you send me some kind of leg fatigue mat in the mail and I didn't get it?
We did send them out. You should have received it.
I'll have to check. No, I didn't. I didn't. I think it came and there was something dodgy, not on your part or my part, but on the customs or something like that. But are you going to be selling them on your website? Somebody wants to know.
The mats, we already have them on our website. Now, on the Canadian website, I will have to double check. Let me make sure that they are on there. And I'll have our Canadian warehouse also. I'll ship it out from the Canadian warehouse as
Right.
well. That's where with the whole customs thing. Because I know it gets like, it gets,
Yeah. Yeah. And because that would be amazing. I know that when I worked in the bakery, sometimes, when you're a supervisor, you wear a lot of hats. And a lot of times I was stuck in the dish pit. And I'm telling you, those leg fatigue mats on concrete floors are amazing.
yes.
They are absolutely amazing. Hey, Manette, how's it going? Tigger bouncing. I use ForJars for my jellies that I sell. Will they make reusable lids also? Don't push it, folks. Don't, I'm
We
going
got
to just say this. They've only been in business like 4 years.
a little under
And,
three. Yeah.
huh?
Like
3 to 4.
almost four, almost four.
Yeah. And they're already gone from lids to lids and rings. They're working on jars, fatigue mat, tea towels. Let him breathe. They want to make a baby. Okay. They've got to have time for these things. I'm
Yes.
just kidding. Sorry. I
No,
don't have a filter.
no, great. We've definitely got a few things, on our drawing board. The reusable lids right now aren't as much in demand as we've seen. I know that there's those that do use them, and they are important. But as far as the demand for them, just for us, quite isn't there yet. I know that there are companies that do make them, like Harvest Guard and Tap.
And yeah, and Tatler. And I probably have about 3 or 4 dozen Tatler lids, but I save them for emergencies.
Yeah, so because you've got the
Yeah.
gaskets and
Yeah. I save them in case I'm out of lids, or, the world has gone to crazy hell in a handbasket and nobody can get any lids. I always keep one of these on my desk just to tell people about them.
yeah.
So So is there anything new coming up that we should know about other than all the things we've asked about?
Um, I just checked on the website. We do have the anti-fatigue floor mats, so those are in stock in black, gray, and sand. We do have
Okay.
a house, so if you guys go to forjars.ca if you're in Canada, and then .co if you're in the US,
Right.
all on there as well. And don't forget to use our half acre code as well to get
Half
uh,
acre. Shell,
half acre.
can you put up all the links and the codes and stuff, honey? I want one that goes on like a t-shirt. You want what that goes on like a t? Oh, aprons that
Yes,
don't go over the neck.
we've got aprons in the work, and so those should be fairly soon as well. So I know we've shown them off on a video before. I don't know if some people have caught them or not. We've been throwing in a few things here and there.
You know what? I haven't even had time to look at the website. Do you know that? I just kind of go bang, 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 bang. And so someone said, you know, Bev, there's like this and this. I go, what? What? And I go, show me, tell me, somebody tell me something. Because I'm just, unless it's in my face. So, if you want, I know I'm kind of putting it on your plate, but if there's any new stuff coming out, if you could just send me the links, just say, Bev, check this out. Bev,
Yeah.
check this out. Shout this out. Shout this out. Because I want to promote you as much as you want me to promote you.
Okay.
I just am, I'm a, one-legged, you know, one-legged man in an ass kicking contest right now. So, and canning season is coming up and it's going to be hand over fist, all hands on deck pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Seashells putting up the links there. Apron with pockets is good.
Yep, we've got them with pockets, little you can put them in there and keep things. So we're going to slowly start releasing some small things like the aprons and such while
Yeah.
we focus on the big dog and get the manufacturing in the jars. But I know
Yes.
we were excited. I believe I told you as well to release the gem size.
Yeah. You
Those,
know what? There's a lot of people now that don't even know what gem is anymore.
oh, we've been getting tons of emails. It's like, what's a gem? I've been canning for 30 years. I've never heard. And I'm like,
I remember gem. Gem is right in between largemouth and smallmouth. It's like the midway size neck.
mhm,
But they weren't they're not as popular as they used to be. Standardization, but there's a lot of people who ask for gem lids still.
yes.
So
Mostly, I believe it's in Western Canada, or is it? I believe that there's the
I
community.
wouldn't
Or
know. I
I
wouldn't know.
know in Canada is where they are used. We have some here in the U.S. that use them, but primarily we've seen a lot of demand for them there. But yeah, they're between, like you said, the regular and the wide mouth, and so Bernardin used to make them, and they stopped. I believe last year they released that they were no longer making them, and
I think
so
I probably have the last Bernardin box of gem lids, or
yeah,
unless it went in the yard sale, because nothing again. ForJars, it's everything. They are 78 millimeter, and
yeah.
ball regular is 70 millimeter. Is that the thickness of the lids we're talking?
That's gonna be the width.
The
So
width, okay.
So the regular are 70, the gem are 78, and the wide are 82, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, hang on a second. Linda, I'm going to ask this question, but let me know where you are because I can't always remember where half my family lives. My friend who owns a farm where she sells fruit and vegetables, would she be able to sell your lids at the farm? Like, could she, put them out on the stand with her fruit and vegetables and stuff? That's
Yeah,
a brilliant idea, by the way, Linda.
yeah, definitely. On our website, I believe if you go on the US website, I know we have it there, but we have a wholesale tab on our
Omaha,
website.
Nebraska.
And so if you have like a small store or a business, reach out to us there and our wholesale team will get in contact with you and work with you on getting, that worked out and send them over to you. That way you can also sell them in your store and you don't have to buy them for, market price. So we work with that.
Well, when I win the $50 million mega lottery, I'm going to be building a 2,000-acre organic farm, and it's going to be fully self-sustaining. And your jars, lids, and everything will be in
All
my
right. All
farm store.
right.
Trust me. Omaha. So yeah, did you hear that, Linda? Um, yeah, Linda Willinson. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Reach out to
.co,
ForJars.co
and we have a wholesale.
and at the wholesale level, and they will get your friend set up with jars at her stand, jars, lids, or whatever it is that she wants at her stand. And I think that's like going to a strawberry farm, pick your own strawberry farm, and they having the sugar and the cerdo right there by the stand to sell it. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Hi, Pam. Will they consider making the small quarter pint jars? I don't have one in here. They're like this. They're like a half of a small, the
We
half pint jelly jars.
we've got a 4 ounce jar that we've got, so it's like a small,
Yes.
perfect for gifts and Christmas gifts. It's like
Do you know
probably
what else they're really good for?
uh,
If you get fresh salmon or fresh trout, or I'm going to actually do a video in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be canning chicken breasts in those.
really.
Yeah. Well, half of a, just enough to fill it. And then because my husband needs lunch meat that has less sodium and
Uh,
stuff.
uh,
So what I would do is I would just empty that out and then put in some hemp hearts and sunflower seeds and mayo and onion bits. And that's 2 sandwiches in one of those little half pint jars. So I'm going to do a video showing how to do that. But I've canned trout before. It comes tasting like pink salmon. So
awesome.
those jars are awesome, especially if you do things like maple syrup and jelly jars and you want to, you know, like this year when I do jelly and stuff, I've got a whole bunch of those little jars and I'm going to be doing jelly jars for Christmas gifts. So
Yeah,
I
those,
got a question. Church doing bake sale in November, planning to sell jellies, jams, and other canned items. Who would I talk to about getting lids for that? Okay, Minette, are you talking about buying in bulk for all the ladies who are going to be doing the jellies and jar, all that stuff at the church thing? Or is the church going to be setting in their kitchen and doing a great big jam making thing? Because our church used to do that. You did a big like strawberry jam, and then all the women would come in. They'd make all these jams, and then they would put them out to sale in the bake sales and stuff. So, yeah, again, I would think you would have to reach out to their um, what were we just talking about? The bulk, the honey, I got some timers. Fill me in here.
wholesale.
The wholesale. Thank you. Reach out to, if you're in Canada, reach out to ForJars.ca wholesale, or if you're in US, ForJars.co/wholesale, and talk to them about buying a large quantity of lids for, for whatever your church ladies group is going to do. Steffi, hey. Yes, they are. They are great little jars for gifts and stuff. So,
Yeah,
if we covered everything, or is there more you want to tell us?
I don't know if anybody's got any questions. Feel free to comment down. We'll try to tackle them as they go as best as I can. If anybody's got some.
Hey, hey, Joe, my friend Joe Mama here, she's one of your best customers, man. She buys them like 600 at a time, kind of thing.
All right, thank
Great
you.
idea on canning small jars of meat. Well, I mean, if you dice it up or you slice it like partially frozen, meat is really sliced. It's nice. You can almost slice it paper thin, layer it in the jar, can it, and if you need more, then you grab two, right? So, I mean, I'm always looking for new ways to do stuff. And yes, folks, I'm going to be making my own laundry soap again soon. Nuts. Does anybody have any questions? Wholesale. Everybody in the chat's going,
Yeah.
Bev, wholesale. They're trying, but there's a lag, eh?
Yes.
So good to see you, Mr. ForJars. Yeah, Mike, Mr. ForJars. Mike, are you willing to come to Delano, California for our pop-ups? Well, where are you guys anyway? You're
We're.
in you're in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
How far is Florida from California?
It's completely on the other side.
Are you going to pay his traveling expenses?
No, we
Just
well, I mean, what pop-ups do you have? Because I
she's
know.
talking about markets where she sells like Rosie here, she makes jams all year long, and
Okay,
she goes to indoor markets, outdoor markets. They're called pop-ups where it'll be
okay.
like all of a sudden a parking lot and everybody will show up with their pop-ups and they'll sell their stuff.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a long way. Do they
Yeah,
have a state in mind for the US facility? Probably Florida, guys,
yeah. I mean, that's where our warehouse is right now, the new one
yeah,
that we got, and so it's
until you expand.
ton of room there, and so we're gonna probably most likely have everything manufactured there.
Well, Mike, thank you for coming on and answering all our questions. And
Uh,
here is to a manufacturing plate and a manufacturing facility in at least every other state in the United States Union. And man, if you're in Canada too, I'll just put it out there. It wouldn't
yeah,
hurt. Wouldn't
anything is
hurt.
possible, anything. So,
Is
um,
the whole family in the company, Mike? Another question.
yes, yes.
Yes, the whole family. You know what? That's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Working with family. Just kidding. Don't answer that. You don't have to answer that
No, it's
whatsoever.
it's great, and so we've learned, that we bond very well, and so it's been a blessing for sure. I mean, we couldn't have
Oh, that's good.
each other. So, but I know somebody mentioned that they can't find the towels on the website or anything like that. If you have trouble finding anything, there's a search little tab on the right side, and just type it in there. It's better than just looking through it sometimes. So I just checked the towels are on Canada and the U.S. And again, if you're in Canada, order on ForJars.ca. If you're in the U.S., ForJars.co. Um, the reason is because one, it helps separate. Also, you don't have to worry about duties and taxes, and it ships faster. So by the time it gets from the U.S. to their international shipping facility and then gets over to the Canada, it's too long. If you want to get them faster and you're in Canada, do Canada. So it's for your own benefit as well.
Yeah, well, and the shipping would be a whole lot. It's adding a whole level
Yeah,
of of actually finance because for every step there's a cost, right? So you
yes,
remove a step, you remove one of the costs. Will
yeah.
you be selling on the home shopping network?
Home shopping network. I'm assuming that's maybe like a website or a platform. Uh,
Yeah, it's one of those things where you see people at 3 o'clock in the morning and they're watching the home shopping network and they're buying these cubic zirconia bracelets and but
gotcha.
wait,
I know what you're talking about.
order now. Yeah.
Right. We don't plan to. We do work with a few distributors that we've got, our lids, and so we're looking to expand into Canada too, and our distributors there. So if you guys have any Canadian distributors or stores that you would like to see our lids in, definitely email us. Let us know
Mm,
because we're always looking to expand as well and new ideas. I mean, you guys know better, where you guys live and what it's like, and if you want to see us somewhere,
yeah. It
us.
would be, I wish we had this 133-year-old family run general store up the highway and the pandemic completely closed them down after like 130 some years.
Wow.
And they just said done. But theirs would have been the ideal store because they sold cast iron, they sold great
Wow.
big boiling pots, and they were just, and you remember the old, I don't know, you're too young, but you walk through that store and you hear the creaking of the old hardwood floors and the smell of the dust. And man, I remember hardware stores like that when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and they're just not there. Most of them just aren't there anymore. Sell at the Cracker Barrel, someone said.
Cracker Barrel. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea.
So young he's never heard of HSN. I know, isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? Is shipping still free for orders of $50 and more on the US? In the
Yes.
US.
Yes.
Yes, and it's $100 in Canada. If order $100 in Canada, the shipping is free.
Yep. Yep. And if you guys order, don't forget to use the code R, or sorry, half acre,
Half acre for
and get
10%
10% off.
off. Are you going to have lids sold at Tractor Supply?
So we're currently trying to get into more of the Tractor Supplies. I know locally it's a little bit easier to do so on a local level because we can work
Mm,
directly with some of the the owners of the store. Going to kind of global, it's a little bit tougher, but it's something that we're working on for sure.
Good, good. Now, do you ever go to like I forget what they call them, but like they have like RV shows every year in the spring for people who want to get a new model or whatever. Do you ever do like trade shows for that?
Yeah, so there are actually, we go to a lot. We've got one coming up here in June and July, and really during canning season it takes off. There's a ton. So we're going to Idaho, Tennessee, Virginia. Where else? Another one in Virginia as well. I
Is
mean,
that on your website?
no, it is not. But we can definitely probably list somewhere. But it's a lot of the.
If you want to send me a list of the trade shows and dates of where you're going to be, I'll pop them out there at some
Okay,
point.
okay,
That way, because I know for a fact people, if you got a trade show in auto, it doesn't matter where you are. I know for a fact people are going to want to show up and shake your hand and say thank you for the great lids. And probably, Mike, are you going to make protective jar sleeves? Willow, why would we have protective jar sleeves? You just cut the foot off of old socks and slide the thing down over. Didn't you learn? I teach you nothing. Are you going to sell lids and stuff at Lehman's here? Okay. He just said first they got to get to manufacturing, right? The jars and the lids. They got to get that all tickety boo and running like a well-oiled machine. Then they can focus on going out and looking at bigger department places where those will be like at the Tractor Supply, at Lowe's, at Home Depot, all of these places, Walmart, all of these places where people go to buy jars. But they got to get everything. You can't sell something they haven't got really set up and ready for yet. So,
yeah.
but that I imagine that would be coming, right?
Yeah, well, we have right now, we have a dedicated team to our wholesale department to where we're always reaching out to a lot of like the Tractor Supplies and
Good.
some of the old other stores. And so we're working on getting in them. It's a little tougher than getting into some of the mom and pop stores because those are always, willing.
Yeah,
You were
well, the bigger stores are the bigger
corporate.
stores. They make, yeah, it's corporate, and corporate anything can be a real pain in the
Oh,
butt.
yeah.
It's like trying to sell Avon at a Revlon convention. It just doesn't work, right? And it's not because of the quality is bad. It's just because you get muscled out really easy. So,
Yeah,
I mean, you just want to make sure you got all your ducks in a row before you start making promises to corporations that, you got to make sure you can keep them, right?
of course, of course. So we'll
Absolutely.
slowly get there for sure.
You'll get there. I mean, I'm gonna sit in my old wheelchair someday and say, I remember him when he didn't have gray hair on his head.
Yes,
Mike, thank you so, so much
of
for
course.
sharing your time with us tonight. And please, if at any time ask anybody here, I have one of the biggest mouths on YouTube. It's probably why I don't have a lot of subscribers because I'm at 133,000. But that's taken me a long time
Good.
to get there because I don't change. I'm just who I am. And it's just the way it just seemed to work for me.
Yeah.
But if there's any new up and coming information, there's pop-ups and trade shows, all that stuff, send me a list if you
All
got the
right.
time
I will.
and the
Definitely.
list of times and dates, and I will make sure they get out there.
Wonderful.
Okay?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me here. It's been an
I
absolute
bet
pleasure.
you haven't even had your supper yet, have you?
Not yet.
Yeah, I know. Go eat your supper, Mike.
All right. Well, thank you.
Take,
Thank you, everybody. You guys have a good night.
take care. God bless, Mike.
You as well.
And
Thank
thanks for reaching out to me in the first place. I've never
you.
been prouder to be a part of something so wonderfully and
Thank,
busy growing and all that wonderful stuff.
thank you. It
Take
means a lot.
care. All right. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. How do we do this now? There we go. All right. So, all right, you guys. I haven't had supper yet either. So I hope you enjoyed that little conversation. I hope I didn't steamroller over him. But I hope everybody enjoyed that. And like he said, if you've got a if you got a store or you've got a fruit and vegetable stand, you wanna have the jars and the lids and everything handy there, reach out. If you're in the States, ForJars.co wholesale and or ForJars.ca wholesale. All right. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And what's today? Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow night on the regular. I've got tomorrow night at 6:30 is Little House Live on Reading with Beverly Wolfe. And we're doing, I think, chapters 2 and 3 of On the Banks of Plum Creek. And then again at 8 o'clock on Life with the Wolfies, we'll be doing our regular live stream and card reading. All right. Take care. God bless. Mwah.